The Murray River was swollen from the recent rains, its muddy banks stretching wider than anyone in town could remember. Jake had lived along its edge all his life, but even he didn't like how the water looked now, thicker, darker, like something was moving beneath the surface. More drownings this year? Old Mr. Lawson had muttered at the pub the night before. Jake didn't believe in the old stories, not until the night he saw the eyes. It started when his dog, Blue, refused to go near the riverbank. Blue loved the water, had since he was a pup, but now he cowered when they got close, ears flattened, tail tucked tight. The dog growled low, a sound Jake had never heard before. "What's wrong, boy?" Jake asked, kneeling down. But Blue just whined and pulled away. Then the frogs stopped croaking. The cicadas, the crickets, silence. The river's surface, so calm moments ago, rippled. Jake flicked his torch toward the water. The beam cut through the mist, reflecting off something just beneath the surface. 2 yellow eyes, large, unblinking, watching. The second he locked eyes with them, his body turned to ice. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe. His mind filled with a deep, thrumming sound. Not quite a growl, not quite a voice, a single word buried deep in his skull. Hunger. The water churned. Something massive shifted below. Jake snapped out of his trance and stumbled backward, dragging Blue with him. He didn't stop running until they reached the safety of the house. The next morning, he told himself it had been a trick of the light, that the river was playing tricks on him. But the footprints in the mud, huge, clawed, webbed, were real. Days passed. The river continued to rise. Then the cattle started vanishing. Jake found the first one half-submerged, bloated, its body torn open in deep, precise slashes. Like something with long, curved claws had reached up from the water and dragged it down. The second one was gone entirely, except for its hooves, left on the bank like something had bitten clean through its legs. The town whispered about it. Some blamed wild dogs. Others said it was something worse. Jake already knew. He just didn't know why it hadn't taken him. One night the whispers started, not from people, not from the wind, from the river. Low voices overlapping, murmuring in a language he didn't understand. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling, gripping his blanket with white-knuckled fists. Blue whimpered at the foot of the bed. Then the voices stopped, and the scratching began. Not at the door, at the window. Jake turned his head slowly. The curtain barely moved, but he could see it, the silhouette. Something huge, hunched, pressed against the glass. Its breath fogged the window, slow and heavy. Then a tap. Long, clawed fingers tapping once, twice, 3 times. Jake couldn't move. The thing outside let out a low, wet chuckle. Then it was gone. Jake didn't wait for morning. He knew now. It wasn't hunting at random. It had chosen him. He grabbed his rifle, a box of shells, and a length of heavy rope. He was going to kill it. The plan was simple. Lure it to the shallow end, get it tangled in the rope, and shoot until nothing was left. At dawn, he set the trap. Fresh meat on a hook waited to sink just beneath the surface. Then he waited. Hours passed. The river remained still. Then the water turned black. Not murky black. Jake gripped his rifle. Slowly a shape began to rise. First, the top of a head, slick with moss. Then those yellow eyes peering just above the surface. The water rippled as something impossibly big shifted beneath. Jake raised his gun, the Bunyip grinned and spoke. Not aloud, not in a way he could describe, but inside his head. Too late. In a desperate final attempt, Jake fired. The shot rang out loud, deafening, but before he could even blink, something grabbed his leg, dragging him under. Jake shot again, aiming at the yellow eyes. The blast echoed through the water, and the Bunyip released its grip. Jake kicked free. He didn't think he just ran. He scrambled out of the water, pulled Blue from where the dog had been hiding nearby, and bolted for the ute. He didn't stop to look back. He jumped into the driver's seat, slammed the door, and hit the gas. His foot pressed the pedal with no plan, no destination in mind, just away from the river, away from whatever nightmare had been lurking in those dark waters. As he sped down the road, Lou whimpered beside him, his eyes wide, his body trembling. Jake's hand trembled as it gripped the wheel. He didn't care where he went. His uncle's place, maybe. Anywhere far from this nightmare, the radio crackled, static. Then, beneath it, the low murmur of whispers. Jake's hands tightened on the wheel. Blue growled, ears flat. Then, from the back seat, a wet chuckle. Jake's breath caught in his throat. His fingers twitched toward the rearview mirror. He didn't want to look, but he had to. The mirror reflected yellow eyes. The truck swerved violently. The next morning, a passing driver found Jake's ute abandoned by the road. The doors were wide open. The keys were still in the ignition. Lou was found whimpering under the ute's tray. Leading away from the vehicle, deep into the bush, were a set of muddy footprints. Not human, not alone. Jake was never seen again. But sometimes when the Murray runs high, drivers say they hear something in the static. Low voices whispering, and a single slow tap on the window.